A major WWE Survivor Series return is apparently happening. A former AEW name is going to work in Impact Wrestling pay-per-view, and WrestleMania 40 plans for The Rock have been revealed. Stay tuned for all the juicy deets. So kicking things straight off with the news of a massive return, this one coming from WrestleVotes, who posted on Twitter, I'm not calling it X, regarding the Randy Orton rumors. Source states that new merchandise and branding has been approved. Also, WWE will present a large social media promotion / digital material for the comeback. It's indeed happening. Likely Survivor Series or that weekend. And I think this is massive.
It's big. I mean, we spoke about it last week, that it looked like Randy Orton was on his way back to WWE following his long injury. What was it? May 2022?
Yeah.
He was out injured. And now it looks like he's coming back. So it's a big relief.
Yep.
Survivor Series is going to be big.
Yeah, I think that Randy, there's just so many juicy matchups now. It feels like the lay of the land has quite considerably changed. And I think with Trips now in full control of creative, I would love to see what he's got in store for his old Evolution mate.
Right, it'll be interesting to see how Triple H books him, because he's not appeared under a Triple H creative banner.
That we know of anyway.
That we know of. Like, he's been gone since May 2022, as we said. He's not been on TV, so how will Triple H use him? I'm thinking maybe in the War Games match at Survivor Series?
I think I'd be very, very excited to see Randy Orton in a War Games match, I'm not going to lie.
Question, though. Do you bring him back as a face and keep him as a face? Do you bring him back as a face for the pop and then turn him heel immediately?
I think you do that.
Yeah?
I think you bring him back, attack Cody, and then, oh my God, what a program. But then I worry that it might kind of get a bit muddly toward Roman Cody at some point.
It keeps Cody busy.
It keeps him busy, keeps him prominent, because Randy is obviously a megastar, and I just can't wait to see him back in the ring, man.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I've missed Randy Orton.
Yeah.
He's actually someone we've missed quite a bit from TV.
And, there's no Riddle now. I don't think they're going to put him back into a tag-style situation. I think that the best use of Randy Orton right now is major attraction single star.
Not Wrestling Weekly. Preserve him as long as possible.
Because there's a mystique to Randy Orton, right?
Yeah.
And it's people want to see Randy wrestle. Let them want it. Let them salivate for it, right?
I wonder if, because of his back injury, if he will drop using the RKO. Because that is what's caused, or what's probably added to his injury quite a bit.
Use instead $1 Million Dream?
Yeah. The Colossus, the move that put him down for the WWE Championship. Maybe the punt kick. Bring that back. Make it devastating.
Oh, punt could be, Well, keeping it with WWE, but moving it backstage. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, a source close to the situation has said that Ari Emanuel has a vision for how he can use the worldwide notoriety of Vince McMahon. And that vision doesn't include him micromanaging the weekly television shows. It concludes by saying that while it's subject to change, the idea of Vince being back in that spot isn't inconceivable. It's not likely to happen now, though. It states that for a long time, there was fear that the loss of McMahon, because he was the man who built the business, could cause the stock price to decline. But when McMahon left the company and brand popularity continued to increase, the fear Wall Street once had was quite alleviated. If anything, when McMahon returned in January, the stock price was more likely to drop, except he returned and brought up selling the company, which led to excitement around the stock and a rise in price.
And we've seen this, that Ari Emanuel is aware that Vince McMahon is probably not a good name to be attached for stock purposes.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised that it's only a month down the line from the sale, and we've seen Vince already shuffled out of one position and sort of basically gone, just keep to the back of the line.
Do you reckon we're going to see, this is going to be the Virgil phase of Vince's career? He's just going to be at, WrestleCon or Access with a little table. Vince McMahon, WWE, former WWE chairman, and he's got, figures and pictures of him and Ted DiBiase.
Sat on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on top of his own star.
Yeah, it's me.
That's me, damn it.
His star's right outside the subway stop as well.
You've seen it,
I've walked past it 100 times going, where's his star?
Where's his star?
And then I had to Google it. I think that it makes sense. Vince is kind of going to be wound down a little bit, but at the same time, I get that Vince has a lot of notoriety in the world of wrestling. And in terms of, if you take away all of the bad things that are attached to Vince McMahon in a real life setting, I think that the McMahon name as a whole and Vince's name as a whole carries a certain weight with your general man on the street wrestling fan. So I think that there's a lot you could be doing there with Vince that isn't necessarily, hey, turn up every week and run the show.
He doesn't need to be in the day-to-day. It's just we've still got a McMahon in the family business type of thing.
I want an inside the ropes with Vince. That's what I want.
Kenny,
get...
Hello there. Hello, Kenny. Let's make sure we get this
Kenny.
Let's
put
get
the
it
call
booked.
in. Moving over to Impact now. PW Insider reporting that Ace Steel is set to work tonight's Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory pay-per-view as a producer. The report notes that the source told PW Insider that Steel will have a tryout as a producer, allowing him to sink his teeth into the role before deciding to bring him in as a producer and full time. And the company had wanted to bring him in before he made his return to AEW alongside CM Punk. Tonight's Impact pay-per-view is in Chicago, Illinois as well. I saw what you did there in the script, and I wasn't ready for that.
was not ready for that one. Allowing Ace Steel to sing, I'm so excited for that line to come in.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously feeding straight into the rumors.
Yeah.
We've heard that WWE are necessarily not so interested in CM Punk, despite what all of their TV partners keep vague posting about.
They don't need him.
They don't really need him, though. That's the thing. But it's one of those interesting things where if they're not interested in Punk, Impact have apparently already made an offer to Punk. They've been of just putting the feelers out, and now with Ace Steel coming in, there's naturally going to be those conversations, especially in Chicago.
It's in Chicago.
Yeah.
Ace Steel's going to be there. Punk has been backstage at Chicago tapings before.
Yep.
And Impact has been teasing an appearance of someone. They've booked a flight, they've booked a hotel, they've booked all these sort of things, and they're going to be there. It could Punk. I wouldn't be out the realm of possibility that CM Punk is backstage tonight at Impact Bound for Glory. Ace Steel is 100% going to be there because he's going to be one of the producers working on the show. I'm intrigued to see how much influence he has and what matches he books and why they were so keen to bring him in. Was it because the report notes that before he returned to AEW, they wanted him?
I mean, he's somebody with a good mind for the business, and he's somebody who has spent a lot of time in and around the business. So naturally, I think the producer role works very well for somebody like Ace Steel. But I think that, just on that alone, Impact were probably looking to hire him. And now that you've got kind of the juicy carrot of potentially Punk dangling there, I think that this will probably be a very successful tryout for him. But just once again to remind you, Tom Campbell will be live tonight reacting to Bound for Glory. It starts at midnight. YouTube.com/Cultaholic/live.
Yeah.
Make sure you're there. So you get to midnight tonight. It's technically tomorrow morning. I know. But it's 1:30 when the clock goes round past. You know the crack. But moving over to WWE again, there's some news about their contract negotiations.
Yeah, so TV contracts have been taking a bit longer than many people expected for WWE. Obviously, we just got SmackDown confirmed moving to the USA Network, but the Wrestling Observer, a newsletter, has given a little bit more information around the TV deals for Raw, NXT, and AEW. Dave Meltzer reveals that the situation with them is taking longer to negotiate, and that's not exclusive to wrestling. The belief is that the huge increases for major sports have seen when signing new contracts, usually when they sign a new deal, a lot of money's injected into it, and we've not seen that with many major sports companies over the past few years. And this is in part believed to be because of streaming. As we can imagine, most people use streaming now, and the decline in the reach for cable TV. Obviously, cable being one of the major ways to watch live television in America. Not many people, or I say not many people, not as many people have cable as they used to, which is causing companies to go, well, we don't need to pay as much for these shows because they can just chuck things on streaming.
This is it's going to get very interesting soon because I think certain leagues, the NFL, NBA, MLB, they're going to be exempt for a very long time from this because they are obviously the major sports in America. But I think that eventually even they will have to go through some sort of kind of shufti because ultimately, you've got the NFL Network, you've got Red Zone, you can get all of it on your PC, you can do all that, and I'm assuming this is similar for NBA and MLB. But it's just the cable, right? It's all kind of tied into TV, and eventually one day that's going to kind of dry up. So I think WWE, it's no surprise that they're kind of caught up in this whirlwind as well.
It'll be weird to see WWE if they get a deal that means they're off normal TV
generally.
If they're not on TV, we know that there's they've been on TV for their entire lifespan, and it would feel very weird if Disney or Amazon come in and go, we're going to put you on Prime or Plus or ESPN
you can
Plus.
Make it Prime because I don't have Disney Plus anymore, and Prime I just pay for because I like free delivery.
Free deliveries,
so it just include it in Prime. That'd be grand, Bezos. Just get it done. But moving over to WrestleMania 40 and looking to toward Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. From the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer has reported that The Rock is not scheduled for a match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. Apparently, unlike this time last year, when the match was considered a good shot, he goes on to say that the belief is that Johnson will have plenty of work once the strikes are over, and he'll have plenty to do. The report also notes that from what they've been told, there are no plans for The Rock to come back and win the title, which I think is a no-brainer.
That is a no-brainer. So even if he came back last year for the match, Reigns was winning.
Yeah.
So it feels like Reigns, no matter what was going to happen, Reigns was always winning that WrestleMania match. Doesn't matter who his opponent was. Poor Cody just got chucked in there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he'll finish the story this year because The Rock ain't coming back.
I think it's one of those things with The Rock where, a lot of people did think, oh, bring him back, you'll win the title, and then what? You got an old guy with the belt who's only going to be around for X amount of time. And it's like, no, if Roman just puts him down,
he's a tribal chief.
Then, he is the tribal chief, and then it's going to crown somebody else who's going to come along and take Roman's spot. But at the same time, it's The Rock, so The Rock could literally turn up on Raw, rock bottom him, and everything would be fine again.
Yeah,
it wouldn't really matter if he lost.
The Rock versus Roman match doesn't need the title.
No, it doesn't at all. It's all
41.
for kind of the bragging rights of being tribal chief.
Yeah. WrestleMania 41, maybe we'll see it, but WrestleMania 40 doesn't look like Dwayne's going to be there. Come on, Cody. Adrenaline in my soul.
Do you reckon that Roman's going to make an officially licensed rubber chicken?
Paul Heyman comes out dressed as the rubber chicken at WrestleMania.
He takes a bump and he just squeaks. Right, that's it for your second dose of lovely bumper weekend, bumper lovely wrestling news. We may be back later on if anything else major breaks, but in the meantime, brave this horrible storm today. Stay safe. We'll hopefully see you soon.